Hey everyone, welcome to NitroLandTutorials. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a neon sign. So this is what the finished product can look like. Let's get started. So first you're going to go to File, New. I'm just going to name it Neon Sign. I'm going to change the width to 3000 and the height to 1500 and then the resolution to 300 pixels per inch. I like to do my projects big in size because it's easy to shrink it down without losing quality, but it's hard to increase size without losing quality. Click OK. Then I have a background copied to my clipboard, so I'm just going to hit Control or Command V to paste it in, and then Control or Command T to free transform this. And I'm just going to resize this up. Enter. So the first thing we're going to have to do is make the background a little bit darker so that the neon sign really sticks out. To do that, with your background selected, go to Hue and Saturation in your adjustments panel. And then we're going to bring the saturation down a little bit and the lightness down. Maybe bring the saturation up a bit. Next, we're going to click New Layer. And we're going to go to Filter, Render, Clouds. And we're going to change the blending mode from normal to a divide down here. Next, we're going to add our text by clicking the text icon. I'm using Tecton Pro as my font. I'm going to change the text size to 135. And then since I'm going to be doing 2 words, I have my paragraph uncentered, but you can do whatever you want. And then click on your document and just type whatever you want. I'm going to do neon sign. And so by default, the spacing is a lot larger than I'd like for a neon sign. So to change this, I'm going to click Command or Control A. And then go to Window and Character. That'll pull up your text editing window. I'm going to turn italics on. And then I'm also going to adjust the spacing right here. I'm just going to click and drag to space it how I see fit. I think right there is pretty good. Click the check mark to finalize it. And then just gonna center it a little bit. You can center by doing Command or Control A to select the whole document. And then with your cursor selected, up here on the top bar, click on the center icon here to center it vertically, and then the center icon here to center it horizontally. And then Command or Control D to deselect everything. And real quick, I'm also going to change the color to a light blue. So grab the text tool again, select it all, and then your color panel down here, I'm going to do somewhere around there. Here's the color code if you want the same color and follow along with everything. And the check mark again. Next, we're going to need to duplicate our text layer. To do that, you can either right click on the layer and go to duplicate layer, or you can drag the layer down to the new layer icon down here, whichever you want. And then we're going to grab our original text layer, right click, and convert to smart object. Now we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And for this text size, 10 pixels is a good size. Click OK. Now we're going to change how the text looks and make it more like a neon sign. To do that, double click on your copied text layer, and that'll bring up your layer styles panel. First, we're going to add a drop shadow. We're going to bring the opacity down a little bit. I'm going to set mine to 50. And we're going to increase the size. I'm going to set mine to 27. Now we're going to add an inner glow. Here we're going to change the color from yellow to white. We're going to center it, and then we're going to increase the size. 32 looks good to me. Now we're going to add an inner shadow. I want to change the angle from the top left to the bottom right. Somewhere around 50 or 60 will work, just so that the shadow's coming from the bottom right instead of up top. And we're going to lower the opacity down, somewhere around 30. Finally, we're going to add bevel and emboss. So for this, we're going to increase the depth 188 looks good to me. We're gonna have the direction up, and we're gonna bring soften all the way up. And click OK. That's all done. Now we're gonna clean up the background a little bit. Go to your cloud layer and then click on the mask icon. Now you're gonna grab your paint tool and you're gonna increase the size really big, and you're gonna turn the hardness all the way down. So you can either change the size by doing it up here in this panel, or you can use your open and close brackets to resize it. I'm gonna have it about right there, and make sure black is your front color. I'm just gonna get rid of all the blue that's not supposed to be there, all the cloud effect. Now we're gonna go new layer. We're gonna add the backlight behind the neon sign. Make sure you have the same color as your neon sign selected. If it's not, you can just click on the color panel and then click the eyedropper right there on the neon sign, or just click and drag to whatever looks right. Click OK. And then again, we're gonna have the hardness all the way down and the size pretty big. And just kind of highlight the background, how the neon sign would light it up. So that there, and the G would go down a little bit, and then it would be up a little bit higher. Perfect. Just like that. And now we're going to change the blending mode to soft light. And we're going to change the opacity down a little bit. You can play with it however you want. Around 41% looks good to me. And finally, we're going to add the cording that connects all the letters like a neon sign does. So to do this, we're going to make sure black is selected. So you can click this little icon right here to reset black and white. We're going to change our paint tool size down pretty small and our hardness all the way up. I'm going to do 20 for my paintbrush size. For this, click new layer, and then I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you just connect the letters how you see fit. So for this, might go from the E down to the N, and you want to be kind of smooth with it to here, and you want to keep it kind of curvy, just like a neon sign would be. So you can either use the paintbrush tool for everything like I just did for most of the letters, or you can use your pen tool. I'm probably going to use the pen tool for the G. Just bring it up and connect it, and then grab your path selector tool, select everything, right click, go to stroke path, and then make sure brush is selected, and click OK. And delete that path, and that'll create a cleaner line. So you can do that for all the letters. I just found it easier to use a paintbrush. Now we're going to add the layer styles to that. So double click that layer. Then we're going to just add bevel and emboss. We're going to increase the depth around 280. We're going to change the direction to down, and then we're also going to just soften it up all the way. And click OK on that. Since it's 2 words, you can also connect the words if you want, just like that. So there you have it. And here's your finished neon sign. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Subscribe for more. And if you want to see something specific, leave a comment below and I'll make a tutorial for it.